The light sockets for that star have not changed, but and our light just took a tumble there because of that high wind that's just pounding us sporadically. We're on the east side of the spring fire and you can see some smoke along the mountaintop. That's the reignition of dry brush. The smoke is still pretty heavy out here. As you can see behind me, police officers are cutting off traffic here on South Las Vegas, right beneath Highway 24. Firefighters tell me the fire is burning deep within these mulch piles. We were evacuated from the China Lantern restaurant right here because just a few feet down where that water main burst, crews discovered an exposed gas line. Traces of those destructive winds are still clearly visible out here. Check out this dock. It folded fully onto itself. These newly installed cameras have a wide-angle lens that can capture a license plate from more than 20 feet away, and they'll be on and recording while the bus is being driven. Take a look at all the dried up snow and salt that's packed in there. These charred up remains look like they came straight out of a disaster zone, but it's all intentional and it serves a very important purpose. This is just one step in a plan to eliminate eyesores like this heap of trash. You may remember back in August of 2017, the sign outside the Temple Beit Torah was spray painted with anti-Semitic messages all over. And even though that hate crime struck from the outside that time, this synagogue and many others are having to consider new ways to tackle a threat from the inside.
There's a fire in a synagogue. What do you grab? You grab a fire extinguisher, right? Okay, let's say somebody comes in and starts shooting everybody. What are you going to grab? You grab your AR-15 or a rifle or a handgun. You have to have a tool to fight back.
Mel Dragon Man Bernstein, owner of the Dragon Man's gun store, is offering to arm all synagogues in Colorado Springs.
I don't really like what's going on in the country, and I'm offering them free AR-15 rifles with 2 magazines and 100 bullets.
Jeff Ader, president of Temple Beit Torah's board, got the offer from Bernstein but turned it down.
I think he absolutely is generous in what he wants to do. I think he wants to help and is very well intentioned. It just isn't for us.
Ader told me it could cause more harm than good. Why do you think an AR-15 sends the wrong message?
Because in its sense, and I know I'm using this term incorrectly, in a sense it's a weapon of mass destruction. If it can fire multiple rounds per second, anything can happen, and my fear is that innocent bystanders get in the way and that innocent people get hurt.
Instead, he's in talks with Bernstein over choosing a handgun, the shop also offering to include concealed carry lessons for free. But in the end, Ader has his own solution to this problem.
Arming people is a preventative measure. It is not part of the solution at all. The solution is civil discourse.
And the rabbi for this synagogue is actually in Pittsburgh right now on behalf of the Red Cross, offering assistance to affected families. The Dragon Man's gun shop also says he's been receiving requests from churches to help arm them, but right now their supply is only limited to synagogues. Always watching out for you, Colorado Springs, Jessica Barreto, News 5. Sheila Howland is fed up with her neighborhood sidewalks.
Really, Trip here?
She says they're impossible for anyone to walk across them safely.
Can you walk across it without tripping?
So she reached out to the city to fix it.
This needs to be dealt with.
But they gave her a 1-year wait time, which they attribute to a backlog of requests. This map shows the number of sidewalks the city's responsible for.
We're working hard and diligent to make sure that we're going to do as much as possible with what we have.
They're hiring more people, including 5 inspectors and 1 admin to tackle those requests. But in the meantime, Howland sees children and parents avoiding these sidewalks altogether. Even more worrisome, she says, folks with limited mobility are forced to do the same.
They're going up the road. People with wheelchairs going around the cars. People like this has to avoid people in wheelchairs.
People like Gary Lovelace.
I go on the road. It's not safe, but I don't have a choice.
He took his wheelchair onto the sidewalk just once and immediately regretted it.
I went down the sidewalk and I hit one of the gap things and crashed, so I don't go the sidewalk.
He's toughing it out to keep his active lifestyle.
It's bad enough being in a wheelchair, but then when you got to face all these obstacles, you know, it's not fair.
While the city faces their own obstacles like a large population and lots of sidewalks, they say they want to fix this as soon as possible.
The mission is to eventually bring Colorado Springs where it's equivalent for all.
But eventually is a long time to wait.
Not just my sidewalk, everybody's sidewalk in this neighborhood.
I asked the city of Colorado Springs for an update on this case, and since I brought it to their attention, this request involves a man with disabilities, therefore making it an ADA issue. They've changed that wait time for repairs to just 2 weeks. Always watching out for you, Colorado Springs, Jessica Barreto, News 5. Kent Obie has been exploring North Cheyenne Canyon Park for decades.
I'm a longtime Cheyenne Canyon resident. I was actually born in Colorado Springs 3/4 of a century ago.
But he knows time has taken its toll on these structures.
The superficial wear and tear, some of the facing stones have fallen off. Are they actually unsafe? I couldn't tell you. You'd need a structural engineer to do that.
And senior engineer Aaron Egbert did just that. He says the city plans to replace 3 middle bridges because they're too narrow for two-way traffic and half as strong as they need to be.
We really need to take care of it now. Timing is critical.
The Public Works Department is organizing 6 focus groups to try and address concerns.
We want to make sure that we do this bridge replacement correctly.
We're concerned that the canyon is being loved to death and that there is a tendency to cram more and more people into it.
Obie is in one of those groups and says he wants minimal change.
I don't want to see this road turned into an I-70 going up Glenwood Canyon or something.
The city really wants to collaborate as they consider ways to modernize.
We really want them to fit into the park. You know, that's a jewel that we have as a community, and we want to make sure everything fits together.